Motherfuck. You know, not too hard if I can get this to work properly. Find a better solution for this. Alright, there it goes.
Oh god, I'm echoing in my own ears.
Uh,
Okay, I got out of the stream,
yeah,
which was a wise decision.
too much work to go and mute it.
Well, I mean, I've got UFS Ultra open as well, but yes.
The whole deal with this is to go and make a common/uncommon deck. Almost, I mean, starter cards and in-store promos included, like the ones that you get for participating in local tournaments, and try to spend a little bit of time with each resource symbol, see what you could come up with on it. Where are you? Aha. Good order void. And what I've been doing is I've been going and pulling up all of the stuff and just like all the characters in game, I mean in set support, just doing a quick breakdown of what each card is.
Okay, so we start with Rise of the Masters then, and then it's common, uncommon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then after that, it's go ahead.
After that, what?
After that, it's like the promos and the other sets and stuff.
No. The whole deal with being in Rise of the Masters, because that's Mega Man's set. So you're gonna just do a quick like read through of all this stuff and make sure.
Yeah.
Just to kind of touch base on everything. After that review, go and do the actual deck buildings. And I ideally try to keep things pretty short. Go about like 10 minutes of picking out cards per, like potential cards per symbol. And then spend another 5 minutes or so kind of refining it. So, I mean, you're not wasting too much time on it, trying to overthink everything. And more or less double guessing yourself. Second guessing, even. Oh man, this is some good beer.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously you're going to start off with the character Mega Man. I mean, pretty stupid response. Though only, at the very least, the whole fact that you don't have to go and commit them. So it opens up both offensive and defensive uses. Pretty stupid. I mean, of course it can be misplayed, but
Mega Man.
It doesn't really punish you so much for misplaying it as much as give you a stern look of disapproval.
We'll let you get away with it this time.
Right. And that Hans seems very much like a beta version of Bishamon's damage pump. I mean, in the sense that both characters like to have as many keywords on their attacks as possible. Only one of them's silly enough to go and remove them. I can't remember. Does Bishamon have a... Is it a check cost for him.
Firsty.
That's right.
That's the only cost.
Yeah. So this is a pretty even trade-off. But anyways, we're not talking about Bishamon. We're talking about Mega Man. So yeah, I mean, built-in damage pump that is as strong as you build your deck. It's pretty stupid. But first up on his support, Mega Slide. It's basically like a Leaf Shield Light.
Kinda.
I mean, it's weird that it's really specific for. Well, now that I realize this Mega Slide, you're kind of dodging. Never mind. I'm just gonna shut up now. But the whole potential of trading it out for another attack is pretty good too. I mean, it's one of those action cards that you're a little bit more liable to play in a 6-hand size character. In the whole,
Yeah, kinda.
I mean, just if it's starting to feel like dead weight, you just go and pop the E on it, and have the potential of picking up an attack for it. Then the whole deal that it clears itself in the card pool. That's
kind of important. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you just have that attack card by proxy, essentially. Then mid one block. Hey.
We do like the mid ones.
Yes.
One anything.
I mean, anything to keep you from using your high value attacks for blocking.
It's true.
And seeing as how many high attacks there are that are pretty high profile.
Like what, Brian?
Oh, just Blizzard Sword, Rain Flush. More recent.
Blizzard Sword and Rain Flush? Who plays that?
I know. Only scrubs. Oh, nobody definitely plays Flying Fortress Buster. That's just stupid. Oh. Anyways, going on to E-Tank. I have mixed feelings about it.
Mixed feelings? What's there to be mixed over? E-Tank is fantastic.
It's fantastically average. I mean, the mid-zero block really saves it. But, I mean, for what it does, especially the cost of it, I think having a 4-check is really cutting its legs from it. Then it relies on your opponent to go and keep keywords in their hand, especially when you start to get lower. It's one of those things that you can get to pull off, but it's definitely going to be against a lower caliber or less seasoned player.
I don't know.
I mean, it's almost kind of in the same vein as desperation abilities on Foundations. If someone sees it,
they're going to try and play around it. Yeah.
They're going to try to get to the points where it won't matter once you do get in desperation, because you're probably on your way, like halfway through their kill turn. I mean, it is a at the very least, it is a good way to peek at their hand, kind of get a little bit of a heads up. But like I said, the whole remove aspect, and especially limiting it to your turn, But tell us, why you have a hard on for it?
Well, it's not so much that I have a hard on. I take that back. I do. Any card that is going to allow me to look at my opponent's hand. I mean, I came into this game from playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and that kind of knowledge is super, super, super powerful.
Yeah.
Like that's why so many of the best cards in the game got banned, is because it's, oh, you can look at your opponent's hand and do this or that, and it's stupid. And the fact that you can potentially gain vitality off of it, I mean, you're not necessarily going to, admittedly, but it happens pretty often.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, even if it's only 1 or 2 vitality, I mean, it's more, I want to see your hand.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I would like it better if it had some other ability as well, but, I'll live with it. I only play 1 in a deck.
I wouldn't really... I'm not really hurting for another ability on it. I'm just hurting for a little bit better stats.
If it had a 5 check, it would be one of the most ridiculously overpowered cards.
Well, that's the whole deal, though. It's a unique card that removes itself.
Yeah. But even being unique, the fact that it's 3 difficulty and a 4 check is what really holds it back. But if it was a 3 difficulty 5 check, I mean, people ran how many copies of Lion House and, Napkin and stuff like that. Especially if you consider how defensive symbols like Void in particular can be with cards like Leaf Shield and Fulfilled in Battle. I mean...
Yeah. But I mean, on the flip side, with almost the same stats minus the block and the control check, you have Ever Hopeful. That's sitting at a 3/5 with a mid-3 block.
Ever Hopeful is pretty stupid.
Yeah. That's one of the things. Like, how can you have something like E-Tank, which, like I said, is a little bit under the power curve, and then you have Ever Hopeful with its stats, and unique on Ever Hopeful is almost like
an afterthought.
No, not afterthought, but just one of those.
It's not really a limiting factor.
Yeah, it's kind of like a. It's there because they feel like it should be, more or less. Even though with this whole suite of abilities, it's null and void.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if it didn't have unique. Just imagine.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, well, that's the whole other deal with E-Tank. It's like throughout the games, you have multiple E-Tanks, like up to 4 usually. Well, it depends on which game you're playing. I'm sorry to get them confused with Mega Man X now. Either way, you could have more than one. But I digress. Overall consensus is that like maybe one of in a deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good card
for scouting
but it is,
purposes.
Yes.
Like if you're on the fence and you're like, oh, I want to toss this E-Tank at you. It's like, oh, you're missing a substantial amount of blob blocks.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely see that angle.
It's definitely not something you play for the vitality gain or anything else. It's just for the hand checking.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not something you should cut, a better, more important card over by any means.
Yeah. I agree. Okay, into the meaty attacks. There's Atomic Fire. Especially for being a mid attack, it's pretty solid stats. Above average speed, average damage, I mean, with it matching the difficulty, that's usually the best you can expect from a attack. And especially having that high of a natural speed. High block too, so I mean, it seems generically solid. Generic in the fact that it has nothing in the way of non-keyword abilities.
It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to get excited about, but if I was offered it, I wouldn't say no.
Or would you?
It all depends on what else you put in your deck along with it, but then you come across stuff like Dust Crusher, which not
Dust Crusher
is off zone. I mean, at the cost of one less speed, but still, and it has one more keyword than it. On top of turning itself into stun 2. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to have a good reason not to have Dust Crusher into your deck. I mean, especially it's a pretty solid opener. I mean, Stun 2's gonna mess with anybody early game.
Yeah.
So, Dust Crusher, A-OK. Hard Knuckle. I mean, it's a funny attack, because innuendo. But...
That's what I have to say is
Yeah. I mean, that 3 mid it's just killing it for me.
I think it's the 5 difficulty and no block.
Yeah.
I'll accept the 3. I don't care about that. I mean, one of my favorite attacks in the format right now is a 2-speed attack, and it's mid.
Oh,
and it's 5 difficulty. But it has a block.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And it has like 1,000 keywords on it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but Hard Knuckle, no. About the only way that this could be any worse was if that ability was a combo ability.
Yeah. If that was the case, it would have to be a lot lower difficulty.
I legitimately can't think of any characters I would play that in, with the maybe exception of, what is his name, Roy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this would be a solid Roy card.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, Hard Knuckle would go and free up his ability to go and target other cards. So, I mean, you have a little bit wider of a spread of lockdown at the expense of a utility attack. It all depends on your opponent, though. Because especially if they're a little bit beefier, they'll just kind of look at that damage and like, oh yeah, I'll take that. Which is
whatever,
fine for you, but I mean, usually you're not going to put any more stank on this, so because you're just trying to bait out the block. So yeah, but yeah, in Mega Man, not so much. Leaf Shield's garbage. I would run 0 copies of it.
Worst card ever. Just don't play it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's terrible. Yeah. I mean, so slow. Look at that. 2 speed. Get out of here.
Only 3 damage? What is this?
So weak. I mean, Leafs don't have rockets. How's that propelling itself?
This is an excellent question.
The science is not supported.
And I mean, low zone? I mean, come on.
Come on.
Lows are bad.
Yeah.
Just look at Snake, and nobody plays that.
Are you trying to kick some shins? Get real. You gotta punch him in the face. Face punches here.
Plus, it's a 2 mid block. A 2.
So yawn. You might as well just run Templar.
Exactly.
Off symbol that. You know, with
Can you?
with none of the symbols.
I was gonna say for a second there I was confused. I was like, wait, can you?
Well, see,
You tricked me.
See, the first step is you run Yuri support. Go get
Okay,
yourself
right.
that fourth symbol for your Templar blocking.
You mean that those cards that you can't even play in Mega Man either? Because he doesn't match symbols with them.
Does Cossack Citadel have a restriction on?
I don't know.
Well, that's for another time. Speaking of time, there's Time Stopper.
Oh, wait. We should probably mention, in all seriousness, Leaf Shield is ridiculously stupid. It's a fantastic card.
No, it's stupid. You don't play it.
If you match any symbols with it, you should probably be playing it.
I've personally burned all my copies of Leaf Shield that I've ever touched. Sometimes even my opponents. See, that's why I keep that lighter with me.
You've been spending too much time around Garrett.
No, he just tears shit.
And, yeah. Time Stopper. I actually really like Time Stopper for Mega Man.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, because of the stack. Yeah. Yeah.
The whole thing with Flash is really great. I mean, it gives your next attack probably stun. It's got a low block. It's low damage, but it is 6 speed.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's 6 speed and low damage means they're probably not going to block it. So it's great.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't play it in every deck.
Well, and with it being Flash, it prevents any type of defensive tools being used. And by the time it comes to your next attack, you already have it packing with stun 2 plus whatever else.
I mean, if I were playing Mega Man, I might put maybe 2 copies in my deck.
I would have at least 2. I mean, that little one block is nothing to laugh at.
Ha ha ha.
I mean, you may even get away with having 3 copies, I would say. Maybe. But regardless, we get to the foundations.
Hooray!
Hooray. Fighting robot. I mean, the whole fact that it's a spam with a 5 check and a block that has a breaker on it. I mean, if any one of those things were missing, I would probably just outright dismiss it. But I mean, this is at the very least a 2 of, maybe even 3 of. Because I mean, in the right situations, that extra 1 to the breaker. I mean, because on average, you're looking at breaker 1. Sometimes there's if you go and polish off one of your blocks with Mega Man, breaker 2, and then you toss in fighting robot.
I don't know.
It's definitely one of those things you have to be smart about, because especially with more and more people packing zero difficulty foundations to kind of combat the problem, or they have cards like Agile or One Man Wolf Pack, so their attack turn isn't disrupted. You have to keep tabs on stuff like that, most definitely. But it's one of those things that, especially if you're running a decent amount of 2 checks and you're trying to up your spam foundation count, you can't really go too wrong with fighting robot.
I suppose.
Well, I mean, you have to remember this. We're talking about like strictly Mega Man deck.
I guess the extra +1 of the breaker would be Convenient.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's all situational, but I mean, I know how annoyed I get when I stare down a Team K dash, and that's just Breaker 2. I've obviously been abused by Breaker way too much to go and put stock into a card like this.
By the way, Team K-Dash is another bad card that you should never
Terrible.
play.
I ran out of toilet paper the other day, but there was a Team K dash in reach.
Right.
I mean, the edges kind of hurt, but I never had such a clean wipe.
You went there.
Thanks, Team K dash. Okay, there's the next one. Copyright Dr. Light 20XX. I mean, the whole fact that it's another card that doesn't commit itself for a cost. I remember playing King and being so frustrated whenever I go and whiff her 5-check requirements. I mean, this is a little bit more of a trade-off, but it's a guaranteed trigger. And I mean, you're getting to Jetta. You know how disruptive card pool clogging can get.
Jet is another bad card. Don't play him.
Yeah.
It's in a deck that's got enough keywords like a Mega Man deck. Copyright Dr. Light, definitely excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, just be good and cause damage so you get that momentum. Going up, we're looking at Gamma Destroyer. This is I can see this being a dark horse card. One of those things to where it seems like it's a niche ability. But then, I mean, there's a lot of people who take stock into running a certain card in every single character. And a lot of times, a lot of those cards only match one symbol with them anyways. At the very least, I'd say that this would be a 1 or 2 of, at most. But I could see myself running a couple of copies in my sideboard if I noticed that my opponent ran an unhealthy amount of cards that only share one symbol with their character.
Or especially if you notice that they have a habit of playing out, a bunch of cards, and then they've got, one left in hand, like a Templar or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing block that's going to refill things, and you can keep them from doing that.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like there was a period in time where Rienbu was wrecking people like off of its enhance.
Really?
Yeah, there's been a few times in some PTCs where there was, not just but like any character running off of, I can't remember the third symbol. There's fire, life, and water, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. That's part of the reason with Huitzel, where a lot of people were running Omniel. So they'd be able to have that free block to where they can go and slap all of this match 2 or more symbols. It was pretty niche, but if you ever come across that situation, yeah, they're gonna pull your pants down and spank you with moon rocks. That's how it goes. Gamma Destroyer.
You went there.
I go everywhere.
No
Like,
comment.
like to the next card, Merciful.
I want to like Merciful, but I can't bring myself to do it.
It feels like it's a card in there because, oh my god, Mega Man's nemesis is Dr. Wily. Oh man, Dr. Wily likes to destroy cards. Let's have a anti-Dr. Wily card in here. It's... Yeah, I'm very...
If it had any kind of block whatsoever, even if it was like a 4, I would play it. But it doesn't, so I don't.
Yeah. This is... If you hit your head and you kind of suffer short-term brain damage and you can't think of any other card to go and complete your deck, it's like, oh, I'll just go put Merciful. It has a 6 check, right? Yeah, we can totally do that. We'll go put Merciful in there.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, Foundation Destruction, like, via your opponent's effect, isn't at the level to where this card is deemed necessary. I mean, something later on that I could definitely keep an eye out for, because who knows what's going on with the next couple of sets. But like right now, no.
No.
Okay, Neverending Story. I mean, Battle. It reminds me of the Dimitri Foundation. The one where it destroys itself and you add 1 attack from your card pool to your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Except you go and trade out a card from your hand instead of destroying the Foundation.
Yeah, I'd rather destroy the Foundation. But that's me.
It all depends. I mean, especially if you have a dead card or a Foundation, or have a couple copies out in your hand. That, I mean, it's a good way to go and recur Dust Crushers. I mean, you throw that out, that's 3 keywords right there. I mean,
Dust Crusher.
You essentially just throw out 1 more attack. It allows you to, and it enables poking. You don't have to feel the need to go and put all your eggs in 1 basket or hope that you're going to draw into another attack. Well, this is a good attack. I'm just going to stun 2, play out some other random attack. You only have to play out another attack. You can go build up Foundations. So like maybe you, let's say that you play out Dust Crusher, you respond with Mega Man, toss, like, was it Powerful 2? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, yes. Powerful 2 onto Dust Crusher. You have a unique Foundation in your hand. You play that out. That's 5 keywords right there. Oh, scratch that. Scratch that. Because Mega Man doesn't indicate that the attack keeps the keyword for the rest of the turn. So never mind. Regardless, I mean, you don't have to necessarily play out 2 attacks a turn. You play out 1 attack and then do the 2 uniques. If it happens to get to that point.
I feel like this would be a better card for Bishaman.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It would be good for Avoid Mega Man or Order, to where he can go and abuse some of Bishaman's attacks.
I suppose that's also true.
Yeah. So it's definitely a strong consideration. then there's sense of justice. I mean, the 2 block modifier on a foundation is uncommon enough as it is. Not to mention it's a high.
Yeah, you could do worse.
Yeah. I'm just...
Its ability is very niche, but
Yeah.
you could do worse.
I mean, at the very least, it could be a kind of a speed hate. Or if you don't really feel like blocking the attack, you can just go and shave off some damage off the top.
Yeah.
Like you said, you can do worse. Weapons upgrade. It's... It's like a bigger brother to fighting a robot. In this sense.
Committing is better than destroying.
Yeah. I mean, you commit one foundation. You don't commit itself necessarily.
Yeah.
And it's not limited to breaker.
Also true.
I mean, with Mega Man, I would definitely have at least 2 copies in the deck. This is a card that you want to try to see quite a bit. And hey, if you get multiple copies in your hand, you can use something like Neverending Story to go and clear it. There's another one that had you discard a card, wasn't there? No, I'm just losing my mind.
Yeah, you are.
Anyways, so that's the Mega Man support. So, what we'll go and do is spend the next 10 to 15 minutes dealing with the Mega Man deck off of good. So I just go and select everything up.
Ew, good.
I know. Try to keep the vomit down. So I go and select everything from Champ Promos 2 onward down to Cough, and make sure to select the promo box also.
Let me see here.
I usually like to start off by looking at attacks.
Let's see, Champion Promos 2 down to King of Fighters.
Yeah.
Oh, I went past it.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it sure would be nice if we could get the standard definition updated on this someday.
And then commons, uncommons, and promo. Okay.
Did you get starter exclusive also?
I did.
Okay. Okay. Is it loading Dark Suckers for you first?
It's loading promos for me first, but I mean we can go set by set. It doesn't matter.
No, like on your first results, what's it showing?
It's actually showing golden ticket, but that's irrelevant.
Well,
yeah.
The way I'm doing it, I'm selecting by like attack first.
Oh, okay.
So you're not overwhelmed with like 200 search results.
271. Okay. Attacks. Cool. 87.
I have 40.
Oh yeah, that's right. I selected all 3 symbols.
Oh yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Okay. I mean, safe to say we want to try to have at least 2 keywords printed on the attack.
Just about.
I mean, the only time that we make any type of exception is if it has some awesome synergy or if it
Yeah.
sets up another attack with another set of keywords. So, I mean, the first potential contender, Henkyoki, but nice high block, but it's obviously meant for either being played as a reversal or playing against a reversal deck.
Yeah. Which, I mean, playing as a reversal, you could do worse. I mean, even if you just put stun on it, it's 6 damage, stun 2, and potential for a damage pump. It's not great, but it's not horrible.
What do you mean?
It's mediocre.
What do you mean 6 damage?
You have the potential to add stun to it with Mega Man.
Yeah.
So it would be reversal ranged and stun. So
with his his
enhanced. Yeah.
I don't know. This would definitely get a little bit more mileage out of against like Skullman, I'd say.
Oh God, yes.
But I mean, the day is young. Moving on, and other Cincos don't really add too much. You don't commit your momentum, and
no.
Yes.
Yawn.
Right. Dio Sega. See, this is one of the ones that creates a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Go and play as a reversal. Add, like you said, a stun 2 to it. Now, they're looking at easily preventable 6 damage to them. But if they do, then they have to go and further clog up their card pool.
With 2 cards.
Yeah, in the end, yes. So, I like the mind games that Dio Sega presents. Because, I mean, that's very Breaker in spirit. So, I mean, I'm going to toss it on as a possible. And then there's Era Piano with 3 keywords.
I like this one a little bit better. Even though it's not a reversal, it's got a great block. It's got Desperation.
And solid stats.
Yes. And then if you happen to be playing, another attack that also has the reversal keyword, and you happen to... The combo is just... It's okay, but...
Yeah, but I mean, just like face value, it has
even just
going.
Mega Man's pump. I mean, they're looking at a 4 high for 8.
Yeah. Okay, Prova di Servo. I mean, this really banks on the whole clogging your opponent's card pool. I mean, with foundations, no less. So
I would actually pass on this one, yeah.
Next one, a mediocre throw.
Extremely mediocre.
Yeah.
But the next card...
Cossack Buster.
I would actually very seriously consider playing that.
Yeah. I mean, especially the whole deal of it setting up your next check. I mean, you go and commit one of your random 5s. That's not really doing much more work. It's like, okay, well, let's go and get you set up. I mean, people like made for speed, right? So that's made for speed being useful outside of being a form. Cossack Slam.
It's okay.
It's very dependent on what you have going on. It's one of those utility attacks, once again.
If nothing else, you can just enhance with Mega Man and then ready the foundation you enhanced for... Or committed. Not enhanced. For, free damage.
Yeah.
Meh.
Atomic Fire, high stats, but I mean, go ahead and earmark it for now, but I'd be surprised if you don't come across anything more substantial to take its place. Dust Crusher, already indicated auto include. Hard Knuckle, pass. Lee Shield, pass. Okay. I'll toss it in.
Pass, he says.
You know, I can be hopeful. Time Stopper for setup. Yeah. Said like at least a couple copies.
Sadly, we come to two of my favorite attacks next, and they're completely incompatible.
Yeah. I mean, if they had... Yeah, they don't really do much for him.
No, absolutely nothing.
So, sad day, quick man. Then there's Crimson Barrage. I would definitely say a couple copies of that. I mean, the whole 3 keywords, naturally. I mean, especially Breaker 2.
There you go. Breaker 2. That's the important one.
But I mean, this be part of the bread and butter combo of Dust Crusher, Crimson Barrage, and then Blank Attack. I mean, overall, you're looking at 6. I'm sorry, 5. Not even including using Mega Man's ability, which would bring it up to 8. So 8 damage with Dust Crusher, 6 damage with Crimson Barrage, on top of God knows who else. What else is coming along after that with the 6 check you're guaranteed for. So yeah, definitely Crimson Barrage. Psychic Upper, I like the card.
I really enjoy it. I mean, the low block is excellent. And it's basically make a control check to, look at a card in your opponent's hand and potentially draw.
Yeah.
It's a low zone. It's got good base damage. Mega Man can put that up to 7, or, if you want to stick stun on there, make it an 8. Whatever.
I mean, usually by that point you've hopefully weakened up their foundation base enough to where this has a little bit more of a chance of dealing damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so go and earmark that one too.
But I particularly like it with the next card.
You'd run Valiant Soul in there?
I don't know how many other punches there are on good, but I would definitely be thinking about it.
Yeah. It all depends on whether high quality punches, because they had to follow the criteria of having at least 2 keywords. I mean, at that point we'd have to go and revisit Quick Charge.
I mean, gosh, we could play Hard Knuckle. That's got 2 keywords.
Yeah. But, I mean, I feel like going down that road starts to bog it down into utility for the sake of just drawing. I mean, rather have a little bit more attacks that are higher quality.
I mean, there is another punch. There are a couple of other really good punches coming down the line a little ways. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's something to consider.
Yeah, like I said. Go and earmark it. Big Blow, it's something.
It is definitely a thing.
I mean, if you're thinking about the punch aspect, it deserves at least a...
No, I'm not. I mean, if you're Sasquatch, sure, maybe, but if you're not playing a bunch of 5 difficulty attacks, probably not.
Well, I mean, it's essentially a hard knuckle with a block.
I suppose that's true. And it can speed pump itself.
Like if things get that desperate, but usually you want to try to keep that on there. But it's good to have the option.
I'm not really impressed.
Yeah. But here's one that's really solid. Hyper Mega Buster.
It's one of the few that only has one keyword that I would really be considering.
Yeah, it's a really solid opener. The potential to go and selectively commit 2 cards. 2 cards in your opponent's staging area.
How many cards?
2. Well, I mean, the emphasis is more on the card deal than the number.
Oh no, I was hoping you'd say 2 again.
Well, yeah, 2.
But yeah, card.
I mean, being able to commit that annoying asset or
Character.
Yeah.
Take that Goro or Snake Man, or not Snake Man, Skull Man.
Yeah. Especially that.
Yeah. Or that annoying Dr. Wily who's just gonna try and reversal you.
Ugh. Barf. Mega Arm. I mean,
Hard pass.
Yeah, that starts to get into sticky territory. I guess I'm trying to figure out how many range we're dealing with. If we are dealing with that many.
2 check. Hard pass.
No. I'm talking about Mega Ball now.
Oh, Mega Ball. Oh,
I don't know. I want to put a tentative mark on it. It all depends on how else everything else shakes.
It's an extreme maybe.
I mean, because especially if you come across a heavy-hitting ranged attack, and this enables you to go and play another card, another non-ranged card in front of it, and still not have to worry about progressive difficulty.
Well, there is one of those coming up.
Yeah. Mega Buster. I like Mega Buster, but
No.
it's hard to justify with this version of Mega Man.
Yeah.
Rapid Mega Buster is a really solid opener. Stunt 2, you could go and blow your load early, go and Mega Man respond to give it another instance of Stun 2.
What? No, you can't.
You can't?
No, it's if it doesn't have it already.
Oh, well.
I would still play it because
Yeah.
cheap attack. It's a 2 difficulty attack with stun 2 and a block.
Yeah. So it just allows you to spread your stun love. Super Mega Buster. I mean, that's a huge damage pump.
If you're running Mega Ball, or if you're running this, I would play Mega Ball.
Yeah.
Because 9 damage for 1 momentum. I mean, it's essentially powerful 4.
Yeah.
And it has a block.
I mean, it's so easy to turn into a kill card.
I'd still put stun on it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Stun's great.
Oh, yeah. No, most definitely. Cut Slam.
I'd pass.
No. Psycho Ball.
I'd still pass.
As much as I love Crack Shoot, I would have to say no.
Yeah, no.
But there's Hangetsu-san.
There's not enough kicks in the deck to support that. As much as I love Hangetsu-san.
What do you mean?
Because
kicks?
I love that card. Oh, it's high attacks. Wait. Derp. You might be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
After Dust Crusher.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good bait. I mean,
The second ability is pretty useless, but yeah, I mean maybe. It does have a block after all. It's the +2 damage if they don't completely block it, as
Yeah.
opposed to if this attack is not blocked. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has the potential. But then there's 100 Shiki Onyaki. I mean, the inherent speed pump on it can be pretty stupid. I mean, this is definitely a mid to late game attack. Um,
I don't think I would run it.
yeah.
The next card, though,
Oh yeah.
I probably would.
Shiki Yamibara.
I like drawing cards. I like low attacks. I like 0 mid blocks.
It's great.
And I like Breaker. But I don't like Yamabarai as much as Shoryudan, which is possibly
Yeah.
my favorite attack from that entire set.
I mean, multiples are pretty strong in this format, and the whole fact that it allows you to preemptively clog your opponent's card pool.
I mean, you do have to get past whatever's going on with, Andy's face right there, and what appears to be, is that? I can't tell if that's the watermark or if that's actually Billy staring at him, like his reflection on the card. Oh no, that's motion blur. I'm such an idiot. It looks like someone watching him through reflective glass.
Wow, that puts a dark twist on Shoryudan.
Well, I mean, his left arm looks like it could be some. You see what I'm saying. Anyways, Shoryudan, low block, off zone. It clogs up their card pool. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, this is quickly shaping up to be a high zone punish deck. I mean, and while it has one higher speed, Gatling attack doesn't really do much more work.
No.
I mean, considering the fact that you're probably not going to run into that many sub-enhanced size characters.
Yeah, I don't think I would run it.
Yeah.
I wish I could justify Super Argentine Backbreaker because I think it's a really underrated card, but
I mean, with the amount of stun potential that you're having, it's underutilized. It'd be
I think the thing that keeps me from running it in decks is the lack of a block.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard not to justify commit a foundation to turn this 4 difficulty attack into a 6 damage throw. This foundation that they have committed is not going to ready.
Yeah. And with that low speed, I don't think committing one foundation for 1 damage is particularly worth it. I mean, barring any throw hate that they have. Anyways, Baltic Launcher, it's a cute card, but
I think it's better in characters with larger hand sizes.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you wanted to play Jiffany Jamber off of Fire, maybe. But no. No. Hard pass on that one.
Vagina Slasher.
I'm just going to ignore that card entirely.
Yeah, very too specific. Dynamite Rough Punch. It's kind of a... Yeah.
And I don't care for Death Row in this context either, really.
Well, that's the whole thing, though. I mean, with as crucial as momentum is in this meta, at the very least, it's worth having a look. But it all depends on how many mid attacks we end up with. Because if it's just Death Row by itself, then might as well just toss it. And being able to discard your opponent's momentum is pretty huge.
It is, but meh. There's other ways to do it.
Anyways, going over to assets now. Sweet Baby Challenge is a champ promo, so no. Ozomu.
Hard pass.
Yeah. E-Tank, we said we'd give it a chance. Going.
Hooray!
Toss it in for a copy.
They're already celebrating.
Right?
I'm interested to hear your thoughts on Met, because I've seen you play that in a couple of other decks, and I don't quite get it.
The whole fact of being able to change your the zone of your mid attacks to a high is pretty clutch. The thing that really makes it shine is the response. I mean, essentially gives you a foundation, and it reduces difficulty of your next ranged. So I mean, depending on what you have coming up, I mean it's another it's a card that could potentially combo with Mega Ball, so it makes that large range attack even cheaper, or allows you to invest a little bit more into your kill turn. The only reason it really works in Rue so well is because he thrives on getting cards out of his hand, so he has a little bit more potential to use the whole Buffalo, in a manner of speaking. I mean, this would all, like I said, it depends on how crucial a ranged attack is for your kill turn. So we'll kind of like keep it in our minds. Now, Presidential Barbecue. This is a pretty good one. I mean, it allows you to kind of preserve Mega Man's ability. Once again, kind of spreading the keyword love.
Why not give your Leaf Shield Breaker 1 on top of its Breaker 1?
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
No, I was agreeing with you. I mean, it's got a decent high block. It is a 5 check. And it is only 2 difficulty, so it's not bad.
Yeah, and I mean, look at all that meat. I'm talking about the grill.
Okay. The response is okay. It's more useful for, killing their ability to, play out a bunch of, Templars or whatever on your turn as blocks.
Yeah. Or it shuts down Shield Ram decks.
Okay. Oh, because it doesn't specify attacks. It's literally anything but foundations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, Shield Ram, if they like to abuse a lot of Conch Blast, it allows you to kind of safely block that Conch Blast, knowing that it's going to be the last one you're going to be seeing that turn.
Yeah. That sounds like something I would do, because I love to play Concussion Blast.
Yeah, that's just what a lot of people do. That shit gets annoying.
Of course, I love to play Quick Man. So what?
Yeah. Neomax. Speed hate on your King of Fighters specific card. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if you ever got in a situation where you could use any of that card.
But what about the block and the 5 check?
Yeah, he does have a decent block. We're gonna, yeah.
I was kidding.
We're gonna go to actions. Real Sparse 3. Ghostly Maneuvers. I mean, it kind of reminds, in a way, it reminds me of Billard player. And the whole fact that it just rebounds everywhere.
I don't quite understand the point of committing a momentum if you're just going to ready it, but hey, whatever.
Because why not?
But, I mean, you draw a card after you play it, it's got a block, and then you draw, you put it on top of your deck.
Yeah.
So you're basically hacking your next check.
I mean, it's amusing. It has some potential, but
It's basically an empty card.
yeah, it's one of those. Oh, you drew a blank card. Well, let's go and try again.
It's kind of like luck, which I know a lot of people, not a lot, but some people ran because it basically replaced itself.
Yeah,
But the thing is, luck had another ability.
it's true.
So yeah, I wouldn't use Ghostly Maneuvers.
Yeah, and then there's Mega Slide. I mean, I'd probably have one, maybe two copies of it.
Yeah, I'd probably run one.
It's one of those things where it's like, oh, hey, I drew it. I mean, if it gets in your hand, one way or another, it's not going to remain in your hand too long.
Yeah.
Sisterly Scolding. It's a pretty crazy defensive card.
Is it, though? The second response is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you that. The first response is terrible.
It allows you to ignore reversal decks a little bit more. But I mean, I think that good especially has a little bit more answers to it, to where it doesn't really need to rely on Sisterly Scolding for that.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I am a fan of it, I can't really justify tossing it in. So yeah, going with foundations, usually I like to look at the ones that are higher difficulty, above 2. Because usually, I mean, just going to put like one whole set, maybe 2 at most. So I just try to get those out of the way first. Concern for the future.
High difficulty, no block, and its abilities aren't very relevant.
Yeah. Fatherly Love. I mean,
It can be cute if you're running, what was that attack? Cossack Slam, I think? The one that
Yes.
readies a foundation?
yeah.
But,
Yeah, it seems like a lot of legwork for something so trivial.
yeah.
Gamut Destroyer. Like I said, I'd have at least one copy floating around. I mean, it almost seems like a offhand harnessing chaos that you have to be mindful of resource symbols. Anyways, hates on blocks. Breaking Bread. I mean,
No.
yeah.
Its second ability is... No.
Yeah. Tribal Protector. All depends on the attack lineup, so keep an eye out for it. Agile Warrior. Definitely at least 2.
You think so?
I mean, it goes and changes. It does have a restriction on to which attack you target, whether it's
That's true.
yours or your opponent's.
That's true.
So I mean, there's never really going to be a a moment where you're going to be looking at it as a dead card.
I just don't like 4-check 3 difficulty foundations that don't have a really strong ability. It's not bad, but
Well, like I said, the whole fact that it doesn't have any type of boundaries makes it pretty solid. DLN. I mean, the 1-for-2 card deal is pretty solid. But I just hate to destroy something for a blind draw, more or less.
I usually run 1 copy in decks that can run it, unless I'm hurting for deck space.
Yeah, we can keep an eye out for it, most definitely.
But the lack of a block absolutely kills it.
Yeah. Blue Bomber. I want to like the card, but it seems like it's too much telegraphing. I mean, you do have the potential for mind games with it, but for a 3 difficulty foundation, seems to be a bit too expensive for you to kind of joke around with.
I would honestly rather play the next card, which is one that I really enjoy.
Most definitely.
Just in general.
I mean, the whole fact that Mega Man has an ability that enables this. I mean, this would... I'd probably run 4 copies. Maybe. I mean, at the very least, I would want to run 3. Just to ensure that I see it. So stupid.
Commit it for Mega Man's ability. On Dust Crusher, give Dust Crusher plus 6 damage.
Okay. Well, now we'll go and look at card difficulty less than 2. First one I come across, Hunters Once More. Even if you don't really need the momentum, the whole opportunity to go and play a copy of Hunters Once More as a block and then kick it out, it can't be overstated. Focus and Patient, I'm a huge fan of. I mean, being able to... I'm like
Wait, you said less than 2?
Yeah. So
what about the 2 difficulties? Or is that last?
Yeah, I usually do it last.
Oh, okay.
Because you usually run more of the 2 difficulties. So I try to go and fit in whatever 3s or 1s and 0s that I can while there's some elbow room. Mm-hmm. I find it easier to kind of look through that and add those and then take them out later than to try to shoehorn them in whenever I've already found a plethora of 2s that I want to run.
Fair enough.
But yeah, next up, Focus and Patient. Like you were saying earlier, card knowledge is a huge commodity, whether hand or in your deck. So I mean, be able to look at your next potential block checks or any type of card draw is huge.
I would really like Focused and Patient if it had a block. But the fact that it's already, kind of fighting for space with stuff like Limitless Strength, possibly other cards in the deck, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of the things I want to kind of keep an eye on. We'll see what comes up. Fighting Robot is pretty decent, but like you said, I mean, there's weapon to upgrade out there, so kind of move it along. Copyright, go and try to keep in. Merciful, we'll try not to laugh too hard while we skip it.
Right.
Built for speed. I mean, I could see running a couple copies in it. I mean, coming across the instance where you're later into your attack string and you have no intention of letting your opponent live through all this. Go and pop one of your committed foundations via Built for Speed and just kind of pile on top of the shit.
Built for Speed is one of those cards that I play for the stats more than the ability.
Yeah. But I mean, when you do have to use it for the ability, it can have some payoff.
Yeah.
Tainted Blood, most definitely. I mean,
I heard you like low blocks.
Also yes. Also like to ensure that no card is useless, even if it's for speed pumping.
Additionally, it combos really, really well with Limitless Strength.
Yes.
For the same reason that it does with, what was it, Tribal Protector? Or is it Glacial Assault? The one.
Yeah.
The 2 foundations.
Yeah, since it doesn't seal it, it just indicates you can't play the abilities.
Exactly.
That's a huge difference. So yeah, Tainted Blood is... So, I heard you like +3 speed and damage.
I do.
I knew you would. The Land of Marioku, you're in a really bad spot if this becomes a useful card for you.
If it's useful for you, you've already lost.
Yes. I mean, either you've overextended, like, abhorrently bad last turn, or your opponent has just such crazy, overwhelming stun potential, or lockdown. It's one of those kind of saving throws instances. And the whole fact that it doesn't have a block, it's a very false sense of security. Anyways, Dauntless Hero, 1 for 1. It's a tad expensive, I mean, for Foundation Destruction. I mean, because you had to go and drop it from your hand and then drop it down to your staging area. It wasn't like it was a quick deal. You had to not only waste a card, but waste a turn in order to be able to use it. So, left with no choice. It's a decent oh shit kind of trigger. I mean, I doubt that we're going to be lacking the space for it. I mean, lacking the cards to fill the deck with to where we consider this as a viable deal. Naivete, depends on how many low blocks we have. Keep an eye on it. And that's
exactly
the only determining. Super Fighting Robot, I mean, anything that gives speed and damage for it just to commit it's pretty significant. So I mean, it's one of those deals that if there's any amount of range attacks in here, something to consider. But I mean, with a combination of stun and limitless strength, it may not be necessary.
Agreed.
Sons of Dr. Light. I mean, we're already...
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, 1/4, no block. Shopaholic, I mean, we don't really have any face down cards going on, so... One-man Wolfpack, I mean, I'd probably run 1 or 2 copies just to try to subvert the whole breaker counters. But like I said, it could come down to if the deck really needs the space, and it can get booted. I mean, that's what the sideboard is for. Evil's unforgivable.
I don't even think there's a character, or I don't think there's even abilities that would trigger the second one. Oh no, it's any number. For some reason, I was thinking more than 5. It's just really niche.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, not that many people really run Vengeful Intentions. And off the top of my head, that's the only one that I can think of that really yeah. Anyways, Human Weapon. Doesn't hurt to have a couple copies in hand. I mean, if they're ballsy enough not to block, then you're getting away with 2 free damage. 2+ depending on how many attacks they don't decide to block. I probably wouldn't run more than that, though. In my eyes, it's something that's set up for encouraging your opponent to block your first attack a lot more. It's like, oh, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't either, but I get the general gist.
It's like, oh, hey, there's some beer here. Delicious. Nimble Assassin.
I wanted to like this when I was trying to put together a mature deck, but no.
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion that a lot of the attacks that we're going to have for this are going to be high. So
now, if you were playing Legacy and you were playing a Guy deck,
oh yeah,
with evil plans, oh yeah.
You don't need Transference, you just need Nimble Assassin.
Play both.
Also, yes. Alright, going for the 2 difficulties. First one is Zhengxi. I mean, it's a decent overall, like, offensive and defensive card.
Yeah, but the defensive ability is only playable if you don't have any others out, which means if you draw more, they kind of become dead cards. Or, I mean, you'd only use them as blocks.
Yeah.
I think there are better cards to put in the deck. As far as foundations go.
That's true. Like, Reincarnated. Oh, seriously. Down to Jutsushi.
Yes, Senjutsushi is excellent. Because I like giving my attacks powerful for free.
Yep. I mean, also the last ditch effort. I mean, you go and use the enhance to re-ready like a limitless strength or whatever to add that extra damage.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to consider putting in. Utterly Unlucky. It doesn't get that much mileage outside of Cinco.
I don't like destroy a foundation that you already have to take a card out of your hand and put it in your staging area.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
It's definitely a dual or tri-symbol card. To where you had this one card in there that doesn't match your other symbols because it has such good utility. Or, I mean, the main reason you want to use it is because you thought your opponent would be in a lot more offensive on their turn, so you kept that one foundation with that clutch block, like the high or low, but they didn't wind up doing anything. So like, you know what? Screw it. I went in my staging area anyways. Either way, though, it doesn't have a block on it, and I'm not that infatuated with it. I'm pretty sure I don't even have it in my Cinco deck. So I'm moving on. Dangerous Blood.
I want to like this card, but I don't know if I can. I don't think I even play it in Jeddah, or maybe I do, and it's just for the block. Let me take a look here. No, I don't even play it in Jeddah.
It all depends on what other combo attacks you have.
Honestly, I prefer it more for the response than the form.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially when you're at the end of it and you're crunching numbers trying to...
Yeah, ping them for every last bit of damage you can. But it's not great.
Yeah. I mean, that...
Now, if that said they lose 2 vitality, oh man. I'd be all over it.
So would the ban list. Oh.
Yeah. Well, the other way around, it would be all over the ban list.
Oh. Touche. Anyways, Sagacious.
Nope.
Yeah.
Honestly, none of the Jeddah cards are great for Mega Man.
Who wants to play bitch cards when you want to attack? Yeah.
Wings and Claws, same deal.
Yeah, Wings and Claws
If that were an enhance, maybe. Oh wait, I'm reading that backwards. Never mind. Yeah, no. Still no.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to draw it up, so whatever. New ally.
A new ally feels like old school battle disc, except you don't have to reveal a card from your hand.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it doesn't have a block.
It's a slot machine. You go and pull the lever. Let's see what comes up. I mean,
Trust.
What's up?
No, go ahead.
I mean, it's decent. Kind of the same reason why I like that Morgan Foundation. The one where you reveal your top card, and if it's attack, you draw it. Basically, if you whiff with it, then you go and know your next check.
I can't think of what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Looking for a thrill. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only difference is that it had better stats and a block on it.
Yeah, that's what's holding us back is the no block and the 4 check.
Yeah, gonna walk away from that one. But yeah, trusted colleague.
I like it.
I mean, anything to let you cheat progressive difficulty. It's huge.
I mean, if it were -2, it wouldn't be worth it, but it's a 3.
Yeah.
And it's got a block, it's a 5 check.
I agree.
It kind of depends. But it's pretty decent.
I'm still interested in seeing Neverending Story in here. I mean, one of the annoying things I have another benefit to it is if you come across a reversal deck, then you wouldn't be as reluctant to use one of your attacks to go and block, knowing that you could Neverending Battle it back into your hand.
No, that wouldn't work.
Yeah, I would.
It says before your end phase.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They go.
Or are you talking about blocking on? Oh, you said reversals.
Yeah.
Yes. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was thinking blocking on their turn for some reason.
No. I thought about that, but then I was like, wait. So
That's
I mean,
not. No.
I want to keep tabs on it, see what we come up with. Sense of justice. I mean, the block alone kind of makes me want to run at least a couple of copies. So I mean, there's been a lot of times where I just held on to higher block modifiers than that in my hand just so I'd have a high block. I mean, on top of the... In a sense, it could almost be... in the same vein as Wall of Goro. Except you have to be a little bit more proactive in, like, blocking or adding cards to your card pool before it becomes effective. But the good thing is that you don't have to flip it. So, I mean, it greatly increases his reusability. That, and it promotes you actually blocking rather than just blocking with your face. I don't know. I could see running a couple of copies. Anyways, weapons upgrade. Oh man.
Woo!
Yeah. Always on the move.
Nope. I tried that for Quick Man and it just...
Yeah.
If it had a block, yes.
But
it doesn't.
Or if it was a one difficulty, like Iron Will.
Or that.
People hoed out the crap out of Iron Will.
Yeah, but Iron Will also had a block.
Yeah.
A great block.
But it didn't have the option of pumping the damage either. Either way, I agree with you. It's a no-go.
Same deal with Rivalry with Turbo Man.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about Turbo Man except for Quick Man, apparently.
Although they did make a, didn't they make a Turbo Man character card?
No.
I've heard tell of it.
It's probably...
Or, it's an attack, that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's a promo attack.
Turbocharge. Yeah, that's the promo that they give out at the Turbo events. Like for every entry that you have, you get one copy, and then if you win, you get a play set, and on top of whatever else. Anyways, no Rivalry with Turbo Man. Suspended Sword?
No.
Well, that's the whole thing, though. Not only does it go and add powerful 2 to your card pool, to your next attack, it also goes and adds more keywords to your card pool for other abilities. Like,
also adds more progressive to your card pool.
Unless it's a ranged or weapon attack.
Yeah, but most of them probably aren't going to be, I don't think.
It depends. The lack of a block definitely does hurt it.
And that.
Glacial Assault depends on how many 5s we have. Keep an eye out.
I don't think there's that many.
No, we'll keep an eye out for it. Pulled a Maiji again.
I like that as a one-of.
I'd say
Anytime I can fit it in, I like to play one.
I'd say 2. It's one of those ones I'd like to see in every game, but I'm not going to bend over backwards to make it happen.
Let me see here. I'm not particularly impressed by the next, 5 or 6 cards. 6.
I would vouch for running a couple of copies of Gaining Techniques. And the whole fact that it allows you to selectively commit one of your opponent's foundations.
But it's only if they don't have any committed foundations.
Yeah.
Which isn't often enough.
But it also has that better than normal high block.
It does. It does have a decent block, though.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, at most, I'd say 2 copies at very most. We'll see how everything else shakes out. But I agree, Lab Assistant, Motivation. I really want to like Motivation, but it's too expensive for what it ultimately accomplishes.
If it was a 5 check, I would be like, maybe.
Yeah.
But it is not.
Never Back Down. I mean...
Besides being a terrible movie?
Pursuit of Dr. Wily. That's completely dependent on what we have, and there's combos in there that essentially accomplish both. So, thrown into combat. I mean,
if thrown into combat said commit one of your opponent's foundations, I would be all over it, even without the block. But it does not. The next card, though, oh baby, do I have a hard-on for Ceratanium Blades?
Yeah, it's good in the sense that it allows you to pick what card's going to be added.
No, even more than that, just basics. You're discarding a momentum, and you're not even committing it, you're just flipping it. So yes, it's a one-time use, but it's there to, disrupt combos or to add crap to their card pool.
Yeah.
When you're, trying to reversal or even just trying to attack them. I really, really like it, but it's a card that I don't feel you should ever play more than 2 of in a deck, including the sideboard.
Yeah.
Because the no block and the 4-check really hurts it.
Especially in Mega Man, it's more icing on the cake than it is anything else.
But, like in Jeddah, I think I'm running 1 main board and 1 sideboard. Just to kind of mess with people. And like I said, I really do. I really love Ceratanium Blades. It's great.
Yeah. Robot's father just confuses the ever-loving hell out of me. Like, with stats and everything.
If that was a commit ability, I'd be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Alright, sure. But no, remove it from the game. No.
After you go and play 5 enhance abilities.
On foundations.
Yeah, that's...
If it was just at least 5 other enhance abilities, then maybe.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit more feasible, but yeah. Anyways, High School Crush.
Sugoi! Notice me, senpai.
Right?
High School Crush is great.
Oh yeah, so great. Psychic Powered Idol, however...
It's good in... I say good.
Psycho Soldiers.
If I were playing Athena, I would consider playing it, but otherwise... No.
Yeah.
Well, maybe? I could see that maybe in Metal Man, just for the second ability.
Oh, yeah.
but it's not great. If it had a block, I would be more willing to play it, but otherwise, no.
Yeah, Void Metal Man. It's a really good utility card.
No Templars.
Champion of Southtown. Really love the card.
Why?
Doesn't really do much in this deck, though. What do you mean, why?
Why? If you're not trying to play Trinity Geyser anyway.
No, I like it for its discard effect.
Oh, for your blocks?
Yeah.
I suppose that's fair.
I mean, if I don't have any quirky static text I want in my card pool, then I use it defensively. I mean, there's been a couple of times where I've used it for its damage pump. I mean, that's when I was scraping the bottom of the barrel. But like I said, overall, it doesn't really have a place in Mega Man.
Cheerful and friendly, though.
Yeah, I like the ability to go and fast track some crucial foundations into my card pool.
More to the point, it's got a block on it.
A low block too.
Precisely.
Yeah, it's definitely a card to ruin your opponent's turn, or just ruin them in general. Quan Chang Nim. Can't understand
Hard
you.
pass. I like it in the right kind of deck, i.e. Kim, but otherwise, no. Especially not in Mega Man, where your whole deal is you want to commit their foundations. And why would I want to commit a foundation that doesn't have a block and get rid of a momentum to ready something I just committed as a cost?
Yeah.
That's silly.
Yeah, no, this card basically became ghost status whenever Twilight rotated out.
Yeah. Well, that and the what do you call them? The better stun reversals like Kaplow and what do you call it? V-Touch when they got banned. Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, because overall, if you want to ready stuff, you just run Caustic Slam. So, anyways, rehabilitation.
That doesn't sound so bad. But it is. Don't play it.
Pyrokinesis. If you consistently gain momentum, it's a pretty fun card, but we don't really have difficulty with damage output, so not for this one. Scion.
No.
Yeah.
Native champions. If I check a 3 to play an attack, I'm not committing another foundation.
Well, I mean, to be fair...
Like, I get that it's for version, but...
I mean, to be fair, a lot of people use improved design for the attack pickup. And that's for a damage... that's for a foundation destruction.
Yeah. But that we'll see that the difference is if this said, after you check a 3 to play an attack, add the card you checked to your hand, yeah, I'd absolutely play that. But this is not that. It's add a card from your momentum to your hand, which means I have to already have a momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Its first F is pretty good, but only if you're part of Team Japan.
Yeah. Alright, and then there's Kapoken training. I mean, especially since multiple kill conditions is a thing. Definitely have at least 2 copies, I'd say.
Kapoken is great. I typically run 3, but that's me.
As of
I
late,
can also see a case for like running 2 and then maybe putting 1 in the sideboard.
oh yeah, I mean that's usually how I roll with it. But I have 2 main and 2 sideboard. Because if I want to side it in, usually I want to really, really, really see it. So I just go and at that point I just go and saturate the deck. If Sibling Rivalry had a better control, I'd be a lot more interested in it.
That's what I have to say.
Yeah. And then there's Accomplished Grappler.
I really want to like this card. I mean, it's one of those things that I try to fit in where I can, but I'm always running into deck space constraints and things like, oh, well, you know, I need to cut cards that don't have blocks. So I never play it, but I love the static on that. It's so good.
Oh yeah, it really hates on stun decks. And it's like, oh, I want to stun you. Okay, Accomplished Grappler. It's like, oh hey, I had a couple of copies in play. You're gonna have a bad time.
Precisely.
But we're definitely adding orders.
Oh, Orders from Hydrant is great.
I mean,
It's not.
at the purest form, same reason we have limitless strength in there.
Exactly.
But I mean, also because the enhance is still relevant, not to mention playable while committed. Oh man.
Now, the end phase is not part of the combat phase, is it?
Correct.
Oh, well then. Okay. That is a thing. Good to know.
Why you ask?
I was just thinking back to our that game I played against you as Jetta, where you played that against me, and I forgot that I could have picked up my card at the end of the turn with that. Because it was a Serpico. Oh well.
I'm trying to remember.
It doesn't matter. It's not really relevant to this.
I mean, something like that. It relies on how the wording is for like before a certain phase, or
Yeah.
because that was the only sticking point and the only reason why I even went for it. It's something to look at.
Oh
later.
yeah, it does say before your end phase. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I'll have to look that up.
No, I just did.
No, I mean in the rules. Anyways,
Iron's Prodigy is alright. There's not really a whole lot of asset hate or control in the current format.
yeah,
I mean, there's some, but not a lot. But at the same time, there's, it doesn't have a block, and its other ability is really niche. I don't know.
yeah, especially for a commit, it seems very lackluster. I can see it being just a straight R ability, like no cost.
And then Orochi Blood is also not great.
Yeah, especially for this deck. Super Saiyan Leona.
Young Mercenary, on the other hand.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Both
man.
of the abilities. Mega Man likes to play Breaker, but he does not like Breaker played against him.
True.
But on the other hand, if you're running Mega Ball or something like that, it's going to mess with that as well. But Young Mercenaries Enhance is really, really good, especially if you're using any kind of reversal.
Yeah, it just encourages stun overload.
Yeah.
Okay, Action Hero.
Nope. Because I don't think there's any cards that do that. Comfort in a Bottle, though. Discard a card and then draw a card. You could do worse.
Yeah, it's a decent fish.
That would be a one of.
Yeah.
Plays with Knives is... I don't think it's playable here.
Snowboarding enthusiast. I mean, don't really think that there's that many mid prospects. And then Ruthless Woman. It's...
If you have the momentum hate, maybe, but...
Yeah.
It's also only if you're in desperation. So I don't think so.
Yeah, which at that point, with the lack of momentum hate we have packing, it's probably assured. Oh, I didn't add Mega Man to the deck. I'm bad.
I agree.
Okay. Ugh.
I will actually have to go into your stream now and mute it so that I can see what we're looking at. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of mids here.
Well, there's a decent amount. They're just not spectacular. The only one that I really think much of is Crimson Barrage.
It is really good. I mean, the first time I had to deal with that was at Omaha against AJ's Birch deck, and having that played against me every time I attacked was really, really irritating.
Yeah.
Because Breaker 2.
How does this tickle you? Open up with Dust Crusher, going follow up with Crimson Barrage, and then go into a auto pass Death Row, which will get the combo and the +2 speed.
Well, generally when I'm playing something with combo, I like to have at least 7 cards that can proc the actual combo. Like if it's, combo high, I want to have at least 7 high attacks.
Yeah.
But in the case of Death Row, we're looking at Crimson Barrage and then Death Row itself, I assume.
Yes.
I'm not thrilled by that.
And possibly Rapid Mega Buster, depending on how. I don't really see us trying to shoehorn it in.
I think I would like a Time Stopper into Death Row a lot better.
Yeah. I just moused over it. And we did say that we were going to try to have about a couple copies.
So, maybe.
It's definitely an avenue to pursue. At the very least, we can automatically rule out Valiant and Big Blow.
Can we rule out Valiant? We can rule out Big Blow, yes.
Well, I
But
mean,
I mean, we do have two really good punches to work with in Psychic Upper and what do you call it? Shoryudan.
but I mean,
Uh,
if
None of
we're
the others are punches though.
yeah, if we're going that route, we'd have to go and sacrifice a couple of slots, which means that either Dust Crusher, Time Stopper, or Crimson Barrage would have to make room.
Well, I mean, for the deck, obviously you're going to want to run a bunch of copies of Dust Crusher, some Leaf Shield, maybe one or two Time Stoppers, but then from there it's kind of figure out what you want to do, whether it's, play Diosega as a reversal, or Cossack Buster, or let me see here, or go the Crimson Barrage Death Row route. Um, I don't know. Kind of, what avenue you want to pursue with that.
I'd definitely say we need to have at least one reversal in here. It just depends on what we want out of it. I mean, Theo Sega is all out. Just focus on disruption.
I think I would prefer that to Cossack Buster because it's a lower difficulty. And then you can use it to partially block either high or low, as opposed to Cossack Buster, which is a high only. And Cossack Buster actively gets rid of a card from your staging area.
Yeah.
Even if it does hack your check. Because, if you don't end up playing any other cards, then you've literally just rewound and, kept yourself from drawing some other card.
It's true. Mm-hmm. I'll put it at a tentative 3 copies right now. See what else we have to work with.
If you don't put Shoryudan at 4, though,
oh yeah,
I'm going to come find you and box you about the ears.
So I mean, there is a decent amount of ranged, but it seems to be
I don't think I would run, what do you call it, Mega Ball.
yeah. And we're at a premium for space, so I mean I'm going to table Rapid Mega Buster for right now. I really don't want to get rid of Crimson Barrage.
I think Super or Hyper definitely is going to end up having to go,
Yeah.
if not both.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, with the combo between Mega Man and Limitless Strength,
You're not really hurting for
Yeah.
a kill card. And with that in mind, I would also cut Yamabarai.
yeah. I mean, it's decent to switch up, but I wouldn't go out of my way with it. I'm gonna put Psychic Upper to the side right now.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, I would rather go Hungetsuzan than Death Row because Hungetsuzan combos with Dust Crusher and Shoryudan, both of which you're definitely going to play.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, Crimson Barrage, you're probably only going to play like 2, maybe 3.
Uh,
But I'd probably only play like 3 Hungetsuzans, I think.
hmm.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, I could see 2. Right now, that puts it 3 copies Diosega, 4 copies Dust Crusher, 2 copies plus summon sideboard for Leaf Shield, 2 Time Stopper, 2 Crimson, 2 Hungetsu, and 4 Shoryudan.
It's what,
Well,
19 attacks?
yes.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah. Okay, going down to asset. I mean, nothing really changed with our argument for E-Tank. Met. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different types of range attacks, which makes up 3, 7, 9, 11. So, I mean, I could put a decent case for having at least just 1 copy of Met in here for the potential difficulty. Also, the low 2 block is pretty clutch. Overall, I'm comfortable with leaving all these assets at 1 of.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Dig it.
Same thing with the action.
Yeah. Alright. Now we just have that mountain of foundations.
Oh god.
The easy one, Tribal Protector. We have 1 card that's a 5 difficulty.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
What I generally do is I assign, like, I would go through and say, okay, theoretically, this is how many copies of insert card X I would actually play in the deck, to get a baseline of how many cards the deck is actually going to be, and then I start cutting from there. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense, but I mean, do a real quick pass and see what all is conceivable and what all
Yeah.
isn't even. It's like you wouldn't even touch it. With everything else as a 1 copy and all of our other stuff, we're looking at 8 high blocks, 21 mid blocks, and 17 low blocks.
Yeah, we need more highs.
So
For sure.
It's going to be a little bit more of a premium on whatever foundations, because there's 1, 2, 3, kind of, 4, 5. No, not 5. 4, 5. So 5 candidates. That'll give us extra high blocks. Unless we go a little bit heavier with Agile Warrior.
I was going to say the other option is increasing Mega Slide by maybe 1.
Yeah, that's definitely a viable option, especially seeing that So I say 2 Mega Slides, 2 Agile Warriors.
I mean, like, depending on how it all shakes out in the end.
We'll keep it.
I definitely wouldn't go to 2 Mega Slide just yet. I mean, that means Built for Speed is pretty much guaranteed a slot. If for no other reason, due to its 1/6 and a high block.
Well, let's see how things shape up with Hunters once more filling up a full play set.
Indeed. I do like having a little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
Does the deck... what cards actually use momentum in the deck? Other than, obviously, Mega Man giving stuff powerful, and Shoryudan's multiple.
Yeah, there's the multiple. None of them outright have powerful on them.
Senjutsu, she can give stuff powerful as well.
Yeah. There we are. Copyright. Dr. Light. Also Serentanium Blades.
That's true. So it's not like the deck really needs a ton of momentum.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of cards.
Okay. But, yeah, we already talked about how strong the combo with Limitless Strength is. So, I mean, I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be a 4 of. Focus and Patient, maybe. Copyright. Let's see. So with that, it puts us at 10 high blocks. Plus the 2 Mega Slides, so 12. Trusted Colleague uses momentum. I'd say that'd be about at a 3.
Tainted Blood is a definite 4. If for no other reason than it does combo with Limitless Strength, it is spam and it does have a low block.
Yes. I don't know why I was looking for a Jetta card. I was like, where is it? It's like, oh yeah, Donovan. Oh yeah, Donovan had Dangerous Blood. That's what it was.
Yeah, I would probably cut Dangerous Blood.
Yeah. I already said Serentanium at 2. Would you say Young Mercenary more than 2 copies?
No.
Yeah. It is one of those ones that you'd really only want mid to late game. Orders from Hydra, I'd feel comfortable with 3 copies at the very least.
Yeah, I wouldn't go more than 3.
Yeah, we have a decent amount of non-blocks. Without everything up at the full number of copies, we're running 11 non-blocks. Yeah, for the time being, I'm going to put Focus and Patient on the side. We're not hurting for low blocks. So we have what? 20. Yeah, we're putting kicking naivete. Hey.
I don't think one-man Wolfpack has a space here.
Yeah. I mean, especially if we have young mercenary, that'll be all the protection we'll need.
Oh, I didn't mean one-man Wolfpack. I meant human weapon. But
Oh,
you know what? I stand by it.
I agree. I've always been kind of meh about human weapon.
I don't care for either of those two foundations, human weapon or hungry wolf.
Duh. Now, since we're running with Serentanium,
Yeah, I'd run one Ceratanium.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on High School Crush?
I mean, unless I missed something, I don't think we really have any other type of speed hate. And the whole potential foundation draw on that is pretty clutch, too. I would say it would be a 3 of.
I would agree.
Still at 12 high blocks. I'd probably go in a little bit more on sense of justice and just kick gaining techniques out. It's the Wall of Goro Light.
Fair enough.
The more I'm looking at, the less impressed I am with DLN.
Poor DLN.
Yeah.
Brian's just a hater. It's okay.
I mean, as it is, we have 9 3 difficulty asset and attack. I mean, asset and foundations. Yeah, I want to say goodbye with that. And as much as I like the concept of Gamma Destroyer, it's pretty situational. Gonna give it the boot as well.
How are we doing on checks?
Checks overall.
Specifically 4 checks.
4 checks, we have 6.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. We also have 19 3 checks.
So we basically just need to fill out the rest of the foundations that are sitting at 1, which I think I saw cheerful and friendly.
Yeah. We need to cut out a couple of foundations to make room, because overall we're at 64 cards.
How are the low blocks looking right now?
Our low blocks are still pretty strong at 18.
Yeah, we probably don't need cheerful and friendly then.
Yeah.
What we need is high blocks, it looks like.
Yeah, we're still at 13. Well, 15. Because Mega Slide. Maybe have a couple. Maybe have like one more copy of Built for Speed. I mean, it gives it another 6 check. There you. Oh man, it's been counting Mega Man as part of it. No wonder. So we're at 62 cards. 1 6 check.
Senjutsushi. And what is it? Super Fighting Robot. And what was that other one? It's the Mega Man +1/+1 one. High block. That. What is that? Super Fighting Robot? Yeah. Thoughts? Do we have the ranged attacks to...
We have
Dust
5 different Diosega, Dust Crusher, Leaf Shield on 4, and Crimson Barrage. I mean, that equals up to 11 of our attacks.
Out of what, 19?
Yeah. And it's a respectable amount. I mean, I could definitely see us kicking out Super Fighting Robot to put in another one for Built for Speed.
I was thinking more of Hunters Once More.
Hunters Once More is already at 4.
Oh no, I know. I was thinking more of cutting that in favor of possibly another Super Fighting Robot. Although it is only a +1/+1.
Yeah.
Yeah, the +1 damage is really unnecessary, and 1 speed isn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically getting that from the stun as it is. And the whole fact that you can't apply it to, like, Shoryudan. Oh, you do know what does pump speed, though. Kapoken training. Got that.
Only sometimes. Is that still at 1?
I just put it at 2 now.
Oh, okay. My stream's kind of behind.
Well, I mean, I just changed it.
What do you want to do with weapons upgrade and... I guess just weapons upgrade.
I'm tempted to keep weapons upgrade at 1.
It is unique.
Yeah. And when you get it out, Mega Man just snowballs so hard.
Well, does Senjutsushi have a block? I don't remember. I feel like it was a
Yes.
mid block.
Yes, mid 3.
Um, so we remove Super Fighting Robot and we add another, what, built for speed?
Yeah, I'd say. Improves our check quality also.
Hmm.
Mm. You're thinking about booting Senjuchi?
Kind of. Honestly, I'm thinking that and a Mega Slide. Or no, wait.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would take out a Mega Slide to either add another Senjutsushi or put in another built for speed to kick that to 4. I don't know. I like the check it and give it powerful thing. I forget what the other ability is though.
Ready limitless strength, so you can go and abuse it some more with Mega Man.
That sounds like something I'd like to do.
At least that's how I read it.
Let me double check. Good. Oh, and it is a destroy cost, but being able to ready that, yeah. None of the attacks are throws. I don't know. I could see cutting it as well. Cards like that you either play 4 of or you don't play it at all, really.
Yeah. What's your opinion on keeping copyright Dr. Light?
I'm on the fence.
Yeah, it seems like we need to put our eggs a little bit more in one basket than diversifying too much like this. I mean, especially if we have Serentanium. We need to either make one option stronger. 'Cause it probably would be a little bit more disruptive.
Seratanium has the ability to play it on your opponent's turn.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm inclined to kick Dr. Light and just up Serentanium to 2.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would like to see weapons upgrade somehow get to 2, though. Just so the ability to get it into play is properly there.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Well, I mean, we're sitting at 64 cards right now. You could just straight up add a couple.
How many blocks?
We have 10 with non-blocks.
10 without, huh? And we still need more highs, huh?
We still have 2 Mega Slides in play, so I mean that gets our high blocks up to 16, which isn't bad. On top of having Agile Warrior.
I don't know.
If you want to bump copies up. As much as I hate to say it, I'm probably going to kick Neverending Battle out.
Yeah.
I mean, with the new toy that we discovered with limitless strength, it makes it less necessary to attack so much. Okay, so I went bumped built for speed up to 4 copies. I bumped weapons upgrade up to 2.
As much as I hate to wait, let me double check before I say that. As much as I hate to say this because I like the card, I could see cutting E-Tank
Yeah,
just to up consistency.
I agree. I'd say cutting that and comfort in a bottle, and then we'd be able to bump up Sen Jutsuzi. My mouth's not working properly. Oh, you can even just go straight up to 4, and now put us at 66. with 11 non-blocks. Mega Slide's still at 2, so that has us at 17 high blocks, 23 mid, and 17 low. That's not bad.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting on that link.
Yeah. See, if I would have thought about it. I kind of want to up the number of Crimson Barrage.
You think so?
There's just something nagging at me.
I think the thing nagging at me is 3 copies of Trusted Colleague.
Oh, yeah?
Even though it has a high block.
Yeah. If we would get rid of that, we'd definitely have to get Crimson up to 4 copies.
Beyond that, though, I'm moderately satisfied with this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an order deck, but you can't have everything, I guess.
That's true. You can have hallucinating Shoryudans.
Yeah. It's true.
Oh, man.
Only 4, or 8, excuse me. 8 4-checks, pretty good.
Yeah. It's... Yeah, we did pretty decent with this. And of course, if you ever get your hands on any rain flushes, then you can do something like sub out Hangetsu-san or whatever. Have all
Brain
the,
Flush is such a great card.
makes me want to vomit sometimes, but
I'm glad I have 3 copies.
Right. Yeah, I think I actually have 3 copies of it also. But
Well, there you go.
Don't tell anyone.
Your secret's safe with me and Twitch TV.
Yeah. I only scrubs watch me, so I'm not too worried.
What does that say about me that I'm watching it now?
Well, you're participating, so that puts you on a whole different level of loserdom.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, I mean we went a little bit longer than I was planning on that, so I'm just gonna call it here.
Fair enough.
I mean, I like the idea of spending more time on one potential deck than to kind of like shotgun blast 3. You know, that's how we'll do it. We're gonna pick a character that's kind of off the beaten path, and we'll go and do the symbol that not many people really consider.
Boo! I was really looking forward to doing the Order and especially the Void versions.
I'll go and do an Order one, but I don't know. Void's way too mainstream.
I see how it is.
Yeah, I just hate Void.
I've got just the card for the Order version. It's only got 1 keyword on it, but it's so good. Because it gives everything else a keyword for the rest of the turn.
Oh man.
And that keyword is safe.
Wacha-cha-cha-cha.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
Also, Karame Dama.
I mean, depending on how you're feeling after you get out of work tomorrow, we're gonna tackle on Order.
Yeah, I get out at 10, so whatever.
Yeah, like I said, it just depends. Yeah. Our poor man's version of a good symboled Mega Man. And only has 1 card from Neomax. 1 common, nevertheless. Oh man. Man, oh man. Hallelujah, it's raining men.
Is it?
Let me check the forecast.